Welcome back to the Iron Empire. I'm Mark Arnold, and in this episode, we are working on my girlfriend's 1994 NC Ford Fairlane. Now, she bought this thing to be a temporary daily while we fixed her AU Fairlane. She ended up driving this thing for about 18 months. It never let her down. We've done a few country trips. It's really good on the open road. 5-litre, power steering, air conditioning, everything you can want in a daily. But since then, it's been sitting around. And now it's time to get this thing back up to scratch and up for sale. Okay, now to get under here today to work on this Fairlane, either under the carport or in the shed, we need to get this Bronco out of here. It's been sitting here for months. We haven't done anything on it, and at the moment, all it's doing is storage for all my junk. Unfortunately, I come home after a big day or a long weekend, and we just throw anything that needs to go out of the weather in the car, on the on the engine bay. It's not a good thing. So we have to deal with that now. For those who don't know the car, this is Andrea's 1979 to 83 Bronco, somewhere in that vicinity. Don't actually know the year, but this is what we call a bullnose front end. This is a cool car. She scored this thing from out north. It was in someone's front yard, and it has been sitting there for years, wasting away really. Had no side glass in it, still has no side glass in it, and bonnet was rusted to almighty. It was gone. So apparently a lot of people would try to buy it over the years, but for some reason, Andrea seemed to get this guy on the right day, and he let it go. She picked this thing up for $3,000. Now the good thing about this thing, and a lot of the Aussie Broncos, don't quote me on this, but from what I've noticed, most of the Aussie Broncos are all pretty highly optioned. We're talking 351, power steering, air conditioned, four-wheel drive. All those goodies in an F-Truck would make it extremely desirable, and this has all of those things from factory. Now, the fact that all those goodies are on a tough Bronco platform is just a bonus. We love this thing, and it's time we're going to get into it, but for now, we just need to get it out, clear off all the junk, and see if it fires up again. Let's hope that does that. All right, so we got some fresh fuel. We got our little makeshift fuel system. It's all just loosely bolted under the bonnet, so it is loud. All this is going to move down the back. I've got a new fuel cell to go in this car, just a cheapie, that's going to drop in the back, and we are going to get this thing running with its own fuel system real soon. But for now, you run the old bottle under the bonnet. Now, hopefully that pulls up. I really should put some fuel in there. Brand new cheap air cleaner, and it's already rusting. That's annoying. And mind you, like, it is outside, but we are undercover. Just cheap shit. It's annoying. So yeah, radiators all sort of just loosely mocked up. Like it's all ran and it's all plumbed. It's not done up tightly. The trans lines are done up because they leak otherwise. Hopefully that's got enough trans fluid in it, hasn't leaked out. And then I've got to later mount this, because this is for a later model truck. The earlier ones are hard to get radiators for, so you buy a late model brand new radiator, and you just got to make a couple of adapters and it will all work. I'm going to get a bit of fuel in that bowl, so we are running. So the only reason I haven't taken this bumper off, bull bar, sorry, off yet is because it's kind of handy to climb on at the moment, but once the majority of this engine bay is done, it is coming off. So on this car, we threw a brand new quick fuel, same thing, it's already corroding, quick fuel Slayer by the looks of it. Brand new carby on there. Basically, they're a Holly, and I just wanted new stuff because I don't very often lash out and buy new, but I wanted this thing to be reliable, and apart from a bit of fine tuning, it should fire right up. Is there a spider in there? Won't be for long. Now, one thing I noticed that with a lot of shows, with some pretty qualified car people, they seem to never fill up the bowls through the vent here. There's a breather at the top of these bowls. You don't really need the back ones because these are secondaries, but when you're starting up a car for the first time in a long time, it's just a no-brainer. You want to fill the bowls up, so once it does fire, it's got something to continue running on. And then you want to check your accelerator. They're squirting. The accelerator pump is squirting, so we know we got fuel there, and we know the carby at least has an accelerator pump. So that's going to be enough to get the thing fired, and should be enough to keep it running. I'm going to get down. Now, I actually put a set of recycled leads off of my old first car, actually. These are the old Eagle 9mm leads, and I'm pretty sure they come off my LTD that I had when I was a teenager, 351 LTD, and they could be tidied up, but they work. Got a new Bosch coil on it. I think I've done the booster, and I've done a new master. I've done new engine bay lines. I've actually done a lot on this car so far. And an Optima battery, thanks to Raceworks. Let's see if it's still got the goods. This has not been started in probably... Uh-oh, wipers work. I don't know, probably 4 months, 3 months, 2 months. No, it'll be last year. That is a good start. Well, an actual fuel pump would be handy too. So another good thing that I forgot, this had electric fuel pump. That makes life so much easier. Rather than cranking and trying to pump up with your mechanical pump, a good basic solid fuel pump to fill that carby up is going to make life a hell of a lot easier. But why isn't it running? Had too much fuel in it. Come on, Bessie, run on. I've flooded it. Rookie mistake. I'll tell you what, when we first fired this car up, when we first got it a couple of years ago, it had a bad lifter noise, a lot of lifter tick, and we ran it for probably 10 minutes, and then we started driving around the paddock and it all went away. And just firing it up right now, there's no tick anymore. So the motor's pretty good. So she's chuffing a little bit, but you'd expect that. Now that's been idling for, 3 or 4 minutes. Let's see if it wants to fall on its face when I give it a little bit of throttle. If it survives under load, we should be able to move this thing. Oh, plastics. It's handling the load. That's usually the killer. Oh, hell yeah. Power steering just ran out of juice, but how good? I better shut it down. We got no water in the thing, but man, this thing is cool. All right, so next up is this Tirana. This thing has been sitting for at least 4 to 5 months as well. We actually pinched the starter motor out of this thing to put in the Sandman because we were trying to get that all tuned up and everything, and the starter motor failed and blah, blah, blah. Anyway, starter motor is reinstalled in this thing, and it is a runner. A few little things we need, well, a lot of little things we need to do with this car, but one of them is breathers. We need to get some new rock cover breathers. I've got a little bit of rag in there to sort that out for now, but once again, we got the Optima battery in here thanks to Raceworks, and these things are unreal. I've got to actually do you a bit of an update on an Optima that we put in the Mustang, and yeah, I'm really happy with that so far. This thing should fire right up because I had this thing fired up the other day, but once again, this thing is a reliable car. Now this thing needs bearings badly. The oil pressure is hella low. We're running like 70 weight in this thing, or 50 weight or something high. We've also bumped up the oil pressure as far as we can on the pump, and it is barely reaching 40 PSI. Well, it's at about 45 now, but once it gets warm, it gets lower. So a new set of bearings is definitely on the cards for this car. Andrea's UC Tirana is one of our absolute favourites in the fleet. Well, definitely Andrea's favourite in the fleet. You can see the complete build on the Iron Empire a couple of years back. Go check out those videos. All right, now we're finally in the shed after what feels like an eternity. It's been half a day already. So if you're still with me, we're finally going to get into this Fairlane. Now I'm actually using this tough lift hoist right now as my workbench. So it's actually super handy having the shed pretty clear. And I've backed the car in. We're going to work on the arse end to start with. Now the plan on this car is to give this thing a polish. Now I am far from a professional. Honestly, this is an absolute art form in itself, one that I don't have, but with a white car, this is your best friend. If you're learning, if you want to do some paint work, solid white is your absolute best friend. So before we can attack this paint with a polishing buff like this, we're going to hit this with my secret weapon. Now this is the clay pad. Don't bother with a clay mitt, even the clay bar. What you want to do is get yourself a clay pad. It goes on the 6-inch orbital. I've shown you this before, I'm sure, guys, but this thing is absolutely, hands down, the best secret weapon there is, because this will take off any of the contaminants in the paint. It'll make the car look almost like it's been buffed to start with. It just makes your life so much easier, and you can feel it from start to finish, how clearly different it is. I can't stress enough how good these clay pads are. Now, I am not brand specific, but what I will tell you is do not go to Autobarn or something like that, because they're going to jab you. You want to go to a paint supply place or buy something online. You can pick these pads up for, you know, somewhere in the teens or maybe in the low 20s. That's what you need to be paying for one of these pads. We're going to get this all set up, start cleaning this up, see how it comes, and then with any luck, we'll be hitting it with some polish. All right, so the car is as polished as it's gonna get. It is the worst job. I absolutely hate polishing, and I forgot how much I hate polishing. I'm a big advocate for DIY, but in this case, I guess you gotta know your limitations, and in my case, I'm not good at polishing. I think I just lack the patience, because you could easily spend days on this. So it's the next day anyway, and I've got as far as I can with this thing. I'm gonna get out on the lawn, give this thing a clean up, and then we're gonna bring it back in the shed and start making this thing look good. Start making some final additions that's gonna really set this car off. All right, guys, so I hope you're enjoying the video so far. Now, really quickly, I wanted to say a huge thank you to everyone who's jumped on over the last how many years and picked up some merch. I've just realized that on the online store, we have just clicked over 2,000 merch sales, which is actually crazy to think that you guys have been supporting me so much. And yeah, a huge thank you to all of you who have jumped on to buy anything great or small. Yeah, hugely appreciated. Last week I released these new Iron Empire tees, the piston logo tee with a brand new logo on the rear, and of course the brand new lightning print on the front. And I'm absolutely stoked with these things. These things are already selling pretty fast, but to celebrate 2,000 sales through the store, I've also released a little sticker pack here. The stickers turned out a little smaller than I was expecting, so we're going to send these out with every order. If you make a purchase this week, we'll be packing them up, send them off as well as a thank you to everyone who has supported the channel so far. Of course, you don't have to make a purchase to support. Just like the video, comment, leave us a comment, let me know what you think of the videos, guys. Share it with your friends, share it on Facebook, all that good stuff. Of course, subscribe if you haven't already, hit the notification bell, and yeah, that's thanks enough. But for those who do want to support, the details are right here on the screen. theironempire.com.au. You can jump on and pick up some threads, and it goes a long way. Now, these packs will also be online to purchase if you're a sticker guy anyway. So yeah, get over there, check that out if you're keen, and if not, let's just get back into this Fairlane. Now, one thing about this car is the interior is actually pretty mint. Even the hood line is not that saggy. And considering the Ks that are on this car, this is actually ridiculously clean. Icy cold aircon, power steering, power windows. One doesn't work. Let's get this cleaned. All right, so one of the things that's always bugged me about this car is the LTD boot garnish when it has Fairlane tail lights. Now, it is actually a Fairlane, so this is the wrong garnish. Picked up one to replace it, but unfortunately the badges are missing, and these badges, there are no way in the world going to come out without destroying everything. So I think the best option here is just to leave it. It's annoying because it pisses me off that they don't match up, but the only other one in the state is like an hour's drive, so I'm not investing that sort of time. It can just stay wrong. So instead, I'm just going to paint this shit here and make it look half reasonable. All right, now this boot garnish has to get a lick of paint. I've given it the quickest mask up. That's all we need. Hitting this with fiddly bits. You get this from Bunnings. It is actually a PPG brand. I'm not sure if it's their leftovers or what, but it's a really good result. If you just want a quickie and you don't want to drag out the spray gun, Rattle Pack Special. You want the fiddly bits. Right, now, while we're between coats on that, I'll just show you this bumper there. It's pretty common for grey bumpers like this, especially with that motley look, to collect a lot of crap or someone has had a crack over the years of trying to make it look good, and someone had painted these black at some stage and it hasn't lasted. So what you want to do is you want to get some thinners, some lacquer thinners. So you want to get some thinners, some just general purpose thinners, or gun wash, anything like that. This is going to be the strongest solvent, by far the strongest thing you can try on this thing. Well, aside from paint stripper, I guess. And it's getting up pretty good. This chrome molding is a bit trashed, but we're not replacing that, and I'm not going to spray it or anything because it's just probably going to look tackier than just leaving it. We'll just clean up the best we can, and then I'm going to show you another trick that I've recently found out is actually working really good. How to bring these bumpers up looking nice and actually getting to stay relatively nice as well. So let's get the rest of this crap off and then we'll hit it. All right, so next what we want to do is hit these bumpers, the grey section that is often the one that goes really chalky and dull and shit. We're going to hit it with adhesion promoter. Once again, this is solvent based. Everything we use is solvent based. And what this does is helps paint stick. I use this on the channel a lot. And once again, not brand specific. Don't make a mess like I just did. And you want to rub that, basically just pour it on and rub it on. And you'll see straight away it's gone pretty nice looking. The good thing about this stuff, you can probably do a couple of coats to give it some build. The good thing about this stuff is it stays that way. So I found this out sort of by fluke. One of the cars in the paddock, I was testing it out and I'm pretty happy with the results. I actually can go over there. It's actually another Fairlane. We'll go over there and have a look at it now. I haven't pre-checked, so I hope it's still good. But it came up really nice. So, right, so we're just going to take a walk into the paddock. I've actually got another Fairlane over here that I tried this. I think it'd be maybe at least 6 weeks ago, and it was a pretty good comparison. So it's been rained on a few times since then. So hopefully it's still in good nick, but we'll see. Oh yeah, we can see right there, it's still good. So it's obviously dusty, but see how chalky and light that is, and then how nice and crisp that is. So same thing. So that's been sitting out here in the paddock. Look at the rest of the thing. Get the door handles while we're at it. Okay, so the best thing about this product is that it's literally a paint product. It's solvent based. It is paint friendly. You can paint over this. Not that I'm planning to do that, but anything else on the market that's generally for this stuff is usually just loaded with silicone. It's like it's actually, you don't get off the paint, otherwise you'll notice it. But yeah, so this stuff is designed to take paint, whereas things like Armor All will literally repel paint. So that looks really good. Nice. Black. Chalky grey. Alright guys, now we got this Fairlane pretty much wrapped up. All of the plastics have now been gone over in the adhesion promoter. I went around and done a few blackouts. I done that boot garnish. I done the B pillars on both sides, a little bit of satin black just to tidy it up, and also the pinch weld on the bottom of the sill panels, just to take your eye away from that pinch weld. Looks heaps better, nice and clean. The last thing I need to do is paint this front bar. So what we're going to do is just a bit of a blow in. We're going to blow this corner in, the other side here, and then I might just go around the car, brush touch everything, And then, yeah, apart from just a little bit of a general wipe over detail, this thing is finally ready for photos. So one of the other things I want to do on the arse end of this car, I'm probably going to tidy this bumper up as well. It's a bit scrappy, but this tow bar, I don't think I've ever towed with this car, and regardless, doesn't matter. It's ugly and it needs to come off, but I've got a key. Do you think I have that key? Hell no. So I'm going to try and drill the lock out. Why would they have a lock? Who's stealing your tow bar? That's not looking good already. I've got a really nice set of drill bits, but I kind of don't want to use them on a lock. But I'll see what scraps I can find first, and if not, we'll resort to the good stuff. Oh, dude, that's way too hard. I can't even, like, it's hard to get the angle grinder in because of these tongues. Jeez. Ah, fuck it, grinder. Stupid shit. Don't worry, I looked for my safety glasses, but I couldn't find them. I'm squinting. Woo! Hyman. Fuck. Clean, neater, better. Okay guys, so that is going to be it for this week's episode of the NC Ford Fairlane. We got that thing pretty much over the line. I got everything I wanted done to it. Obviously, it's a pre-sale cleanup. We didn't go absolutely ape shit. If I was a professional polisher, I could have spent days on that thing, but it presents super well. The thing's been a really good car, and hopefully someone else will find that is going to be a good car too, because it is currently on line right now for sale on Marketplace. So hopefully someone snaps that up soon. We'll make a nice little entry-level cruiser, 5-litre V8, all the creature comforts, and yeah, good car. And hopefully for my sake, it's the last time you see that on the channel. So that's going to be it for this time around, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you all for an upcoming episode real soon right here on the Iron Empire. Cheers, guys.